Money's the motivation, money's the conversation. You on vacation, we getting.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Just Know This. I'm DC.
And I'm KB.
I'm Hosti.
Nick Hosti. In the house.
Good to be here, boys.
Hey.
Proud to have you on, man. Glad to have you hosting. What are you calling it?
We're going to call this Hosti Hour.
Okay.
Love it.
Alright, so we got KB and DC here.
Yes, sir.
We're going to see how much these boys have done their homework.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's get right into it.
Do it.
KB, bring it on over to you. Now, Carson Palmer has had a great career, alright? But he just announced his retirement last week.
Right.
Do you think that he had a Hall of Fame career?
No. I do not. Carson Palmer is a good quarterback. He had a good career. I wouldn't say great, a good career. But he was in the league for 15 seasons. He was the first overall pick of that draft, may I remind you. And he's not a Hall of Famer. Because when we're talking about Hall of Famers, we're talking about best of the best. You know, the Tom Bradys, the Joe Montanas, the Steve Youngs, Terry Bradshaw, Drew Brees. He's not in the category with those guys. He led his teams to make the playoffs 3 times. 4 playoff games, 1 win. That resume, that's not good enough. And you look at his numbers, he threw for over 46,000 yards, 294 touchdowns, 187 interceptions. That's not great.
It's not great.
That's not Hall of Fame numbers right there. So, don't get me wrong. He's a good quarterback, but Hall of Fame material, no, he's not. Especially when you look at the guys who he had on his team with him. Yeah. Ocho Cinco is one of the greatest receivers of all time. And you win no playoff games with him? Come on. No.
Alright, some great points there, Dom. Let's hear what you got.
All right. KB, I agree with KB.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a Hall of Famer. I'm sorry. He has 92 wins in his 15-year career. And if you average that out, that's about 5.75 wins a season.
That's not good.
Not good for a starting quarterback. KB mentioned his 46,000, a little over 46,000 yards, 294 touchdowns, 187 interceptions. So 3 touchdowns to 2 interception ratio. Not Hall of Fame worthy. Not when we're seeing Drew Brees throwing up 72%.
Yeah.
Over the course of the season and the playoffs as of right now. He is a Heisman winner. College isn't considered when joining the Hall of Fame. He is only a 3-time Pro Bowler in 15 seasons.
Yeah.
He had stints with the Bengals, the Raiders, and the Cardinals. And then the furthest, as you mentioned, was the NFC Championship game 2015 against the Panthers, and couldn't pull it off then. And I'm sorry, Carson Palmer, you're not going to pull it off in your with your career into the Hall of Fame in Canton. I'm sorry.
Alright, you heard it here first, guys. Carson Palmer is most likely not going to be in the Hall of Fame.
Don't think so.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Alright, moving on. Oh, alright. My favorite topic right here.
I know it is, baby.
Alright, DC, we're going to bring it on over to you first. Kirk Cousins is looking to be the highest paid QB in league history.
Yes.
Where do you think he's going?
Now, everyone, the popular votes, the Cleveland Browns.
Oh.
I know you want him to be on the Cleveland Browns, my man Nick Hosti. But the Cleveland curse is real, and I don't want that happening to your man Kirk. You know what I do want happening to him? Filling in the only missing piece of a Super Bowl winning team in the team we just saw heavily dismantle KB's Pittsburgh Steelers yesterday.
Let's not talk about that.
Saxonville, these Jacksonville Jaguars. Bortles has played well this season, put him in position to win, but like I said, he's been a game manager. Kirk Cousins, something different. He can move. Blake Bortles can move with his feet, but I believe Cousins has more improbability, better arm, smarter quarterback, more time in the league to develop. And Kirk is a franchise QB, set up for the future with Tom Coughlin running that organization, Doug Marrone, new head coach. Just completely young talent. Not even one season they were 5-11. Now they're heading to Foxborough to play Brady in the AFC Championship game. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm giving up what I can, clearing up my cap space, getting this man Kirk Cousins to lead me to that Lombardi, baby.
All right, KB, what do you think? Jacksonville?
No, it's going to be the team that lost to Jacksonville. The Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, this will only happen if Big Ben retires. And I think he will retire, especially after that tough loss. I'm not blaming that game on him, but still. They were expected to make to at least the AFC Championship. But off of that, if Big Ben retires, the Steelers need a quarterback, and their draft pick's going to be too late to really get this stud rookie. So the Steelers would go after him. Why would Kirk Cousins not want to be on that team? When you have the best running back in football, you have the best wide receiver in football, you have probably offensive rookie in the year in Juju Smith-Schuster. You have young talent on that defensive side, and you have one of the most successful organizations in NFL history behind the New England Patriots, honestly. And another thing, that O-line is ridiculous. I mean, you watched Saxonville.
Yeah.
How many times did Saxonville actually sack Roethlisberger?
I think it was only twice, to be
Only
honest.
twice, and one was the forced fumble that led to the touchdown.
Yeah.
So, I don't think Kirk Cousins is re-signing with the Redskins. I don't think they'll franchise tag him. But if Kirk wants to win, why not come? Come to Pittsburgh, Steel City, man.
It's gonna be interesting, boys. It's gonna be interesting.
Very interesting.
But hey, we're on the topic of the Steelers. Let's take it on right down to Le'Veon Bell.
Ooh, my man. My man.
KB, back to you. Le'Veon Bell said that if the Steelers franchise tag him again this season, that he will retire. What's up?
Wow. I'm calling bluff on this one. Now, I love Le'Veon Bell. I love watching him play. And after yesterday's game, anyone who's kind of like on the edge with it needs to know that he deserves his money. He deserves his money. He deserves to be paid like a number one running back and a number two wide receiver. So reports came out that the Steelers were going to franchise tag him. I don't know if that's true or not, but I really think the Steelers will sign him. They'll sign him to a max deal because you have to. You can't just let the best running back in the league slip away. But even if the Steelers do franchise tag, like I said, I think it's a bluff. I don't think he'll sit out a year, or I don't think he'll retire. It's just because, he's still young, and obviously as an NFL player, like, your main goal is to win NFL championships, but also the future goal is to get into the Hall of Fame. And if you're retiring after,
4 seasons?
4 seasons, I think, when he's had his injuries, he's had his suspensions, that's not Hall of Fame material. But if he keeps going, he could easily be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So I'm calling bluff on this one. I think the Steelers will sign him, though. But it's going to be interesting to see.
All right, DC, thoughts?
All right. I am calling bluff. I don't think he's going to retire, but I will think he will hold out. Le'Veon has shown us in previous years that he's not scared to do that.
No.
And like you said, this man deserves his money. Definitely, in my opinion, and I'm sure your guys too, top running back in the league, if not top 2, top 3.
He's the best running back.
I mean, I'll use some Skip Bayless. He's patient sometimes to a fault.
Yeah.
Where takes away from his game, but 99% of the time, that's how he gets his points. And one play I remember specifically yesterday. You talking about him getting paid like a number 2 wide receiver. He made a number 1 wide receiver move yesterday on Telvin Smith covering him, catching that touchdown in the end zone, put them back in the game. So he deserves that money. He will get that money from some team.
Oh, someone's
gonna pay him. And if the Steelers want to tag him again, you better enjoy that tag while he's on the sidelines, because he's not, or while he's at home watching those games on his couch.
Yeah.
Never know. He could go back and work at Dairy Queen like you said last year.
Well, hopefully not, because that's a waste of talent.
That Dairy Queen would be popping.
Oh, yeah.
True that. All right, boys. Football's been fun. Let's talk about some basketball here.
Allah.
Now, we're going to bring it over to you, Dom. With the Cleveland Cavaliers struggling in this new year.
I knew this was
they've
coming.
Got LeBron.
I
Do you think that they're a lock for the playoffs still?
Oh, don't get me wrong. Yes, Mr. Hosti, they are still a lock for the Eastern Conference.
Do you think they're a lock for the finals this year?
No. No chance. Because, like I mentioned, since Isaiah Thomas was returned to the league from his hip injury, the Cavs are the 3rd worst defensive team in the league based on defensive efficiency rating. Now, we talking about my man Kyrie here.
Oh, no.
Talk about...
We ain't talking about the Celtics.
I mean, all right, I'll just leave them out. We'll just talk about the Cavs. I believe they're a lock for the playoffs. I mean, you got LeBron James on your team. And to be honest, you still have a very good chance at making the finals with LeBron James on your team, with all that talent, Dwayne Wade, IT, Kevin Love. There are trade rumors about Tristan Thompson, though. I haven't heard. I mean, they haven't been utilizing him as much this year, but he's been in the playoffs before, and that's some depth that they wouldn't have if they lost him. Not a lock for the finals, but lock for the playoffs for sure.
Good shit. All right.
I still think they're a lock for the finals. You know, obviously their D needs to improve, but it's every year with the Cavs.
Mhm.
Every year around January, the new year, they start slipping off, and everyone's like, "Oh, is this the end?" No, because they have the best player in NBA history. That's why they're a lock.
Not KD.
I'm sorry. Like, I know Boston's playing well, but they're still too young. You need experience in the playoffs. 2 of their 4 best players aren't even legally able to drink.
Yes, that is true.
Okay?
That is
The
true.
Raptors. It's the same story every year with the Raptors. They're this great regular season team, then they get to the playoffs, and where do they go? The team chokes in the playoffs.
I mean, I believe their only true competition is Boston. To be
I
honest.
can agree with that too.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you look at Washington. Washington has no bench. They don't play any defense either.
No consistency.
And then, honestly, I still think Milwaukee is the greatest threat to the Cavs, and Milwaukee's still too young.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when they get to the playoffs, they're going to flip that switch that we always talk about. They're going to flip the switch, and it's going to be fine. I really don't think the Cavs care if they're the 1 seed in the East or the 8th seed in the East, because there's one goal for them, and that's to make it to the NBA championship. It doesn't matter where they're set. Like, they don't care because they have LeBron James. Name me someone who can guard LeBron James in the East.
All right, guys, talking about stars, Trae Young has taken college basketball by storm this year.
Yeah,
I think it's fair to say that. KB, do you think that this kid could be an NBA star?
Yes, he is the real deal. Look at his highlights. Watch him play. He's the next Steph Curry.
Oh,
He's the next Steph Curry.
No.
I mean, and you watch the games they play. I mean, the Big 12 is the best basketball conference in the country right now, easily. I mean, he's played Arkansas, USC, Wichita State, TCU twice, Oklahoma State, WU, Texas Tech. I will say WU got the best of him,
Yes.
but let's be real. I mean, not many people have success against WU's Press Virginia, anyways. He leads the country in scoring and passing.
Yes.
No one in college basketball history has done that. Okay.
I respect
Did
that.
you see his game yesterday?
I did not.
43, 11, and 7. Overtime win against TCU.
Oh, okay.
You watch him play. He's a great passer. He's a great ball handler. He has great court vision. I mean, one coach said it. He brings the ball past half court. You have to guard him because he's got range like a madman. Who's the other person that we know that when he crosses half court, you have to start guarding him? Steph Curry. This dude is the real deal. You take him off this Oklahoma team, they're not that good. You watch these other guys, they're not that good. They're a decent defensive team, but he puts them over the top. I mean, I'm excited to watch this dude play. He's averaging 30 points per game and 10 assists a game. Right now.
Okay.
Do you think the same?
I do not think. All right. I don't know if he'll translate. I do see the Steph Curry comparison in him. Being a West Virginia fan, I mean, we did beat Oklahoma, so therefore we beat Trae Young. But he put his work in on us. I will give him that. But as we've seen many times, your college career does not. Rarely does it translate. That's fine. Greatly into the big leagues. I remember a guard last year who was shooting 40% from 3, saying he could pull up from anywhere. I think he played for UCLA, and I think he was.
No,
I
we're
think
not.
his name was Lonzo.
You're not comparing.
Ball.
You're not comparing Lonzo Ball to Trae Young. Trae Young jump shot actually looks like a regular jump shot.
That's fine.
Lonzo's jump shot's broke.
It's dumb broke. I'm just giving you fact. Coming out of college, he was shooting 40% from 3. Around the same percentage as Trae Young, if not better, to be honest, at that point in his college career. Trae Young, I believe, is he's not the Lonzo Ball make. I mean, he's more confident in college. Lonzo's playing with confidence in college at Westwood. We'll see how he translates into the league. He needs to bulk up. That's one thing, for sure. Like many players entering the draft these days. He has great ability. He has great talent. I love watching him play. I hope he translates. We'll see. But I'm not making I'm not making a comparison with him to a potential top 10 player all time.
Okay, that's fine. But if you're not doing that, don't compare him to Lonzo Ball.
He's more in Lonzo Ball's range than Steph Curry.
He's scoring more than Lonzo Ball. And
in the NBA, come on. He's in the NBA. He's in Oklahoma.
I'm talking about Lonzo when he was at UCLA.
Oh, at UCLA. Lonzo's not a scorer. We know that.
Trae Young still has more passing while he's scoring more and while he's shooting more. He's a better passer.
Just because his
on
passing
a worse team.
He has better passing numbers. I don't know. He's not a better passer than Lonzo Ball.
Have you seen him pass?
I will just.
Go on YouTube right now and look up Trae Young highlights.
I've seen it. I like the kid play, but he doesn't. He can pass the ball, but passing and vision are two different things. You need to be able to see the court.
He has great court vision.
I'm not saying he doesn't have great court vision. I'm saying you want to compare him to someone, compare him to the number two overall pick last year.
No.
We're talking about before we get to Steph Curry.
No. Because another thing Trae Young does that Lonzo doesn't do and didn't do at UCLA either, he gets to the damn line. He gets to the free throw line. He draws fouls.
Can't argue with that.
That guy, it seems like the guy's drawing 10 to 15 fouls a game. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, that's a bunch of his points are coming from the
yes.
line. I'll give him that. I mean, hey, you
Steph Curry-like. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get back right into football here.
Yes. Let's.
Nah, the NFL playoffs are coming to an end.
Yes.
We're down to our final four teams. Who do we have as a Super Bowl favorite? KB.
When I wrote this, it was before the games this weekend, so of course I put the Steelers up there. And
I had a towel to throw you right now, I would.
Hey, you can't do that. That hurts. But, I mean, now I'm just going Tom Brady now. It's the Patriots because you look at the Patriots now and look at the other three quarterbacks. Case Keenum. Okay, Case Keenum has had a great season and he's a good quarterback. Blake Bortles and Nick Foles. It's supposed to be a quarterback league.
Mm.
I'm taking the best quarterback with the best coach, the best organization. I mean, I know they have their controversy. Their defense is inconsistent, you can say. But, I want Jacksonville to win. I really do. I want Jacksonville to pull it off. And we talk about how good this Jacksonville defense is. I mean, the Steelers put up 42 points against them.
Yeah. I mean, with the Killer Bees.
With the Killer Bees, yes. I mean, Tom Brady is a better quarterback than Roethlisberger.
Yes.
So,
but does he does have weapons?
Yeah, he does.
He doesn't have those weapons.
No, he doesn't. But, I mean,
Let's take it over to you, man. What do you think?
All right. So, we had this topic as a segment. It was supposed to be a segment on our show last week.
Yes.
We ran into problems, but when I wrote this up last week, I had New England against Minnesota, in Super Bowl at Minnesota. And before that, I had chosen the Rams until they got eliminated from the playoffs. Now, I have to say I agree with you, KB. I want to say Jacksonville's so effing bad.
I don't care.
I care. Because, and it's also and this was brought up yesterday. 3 of the 4 remaining quarterbacks have never, 3 of the 4 quarterbacks left in the Super Bowl, or in the playoffs, as you mentioned, are Blake Bortles, Nick Foles, and Case Keenum,
yes.
along with Tom Brady, who I think you can categorize those 3 different leagues in Tom Brady. I think Minnesota, that dome is going to be loud. But at the end of the day, Bill Belichick does not get phased. Tom Brady does not get phased. We saw what happened in the dome at Atlanta last year.
Yes, they've been there. When was the last time Jacksonville's been there?
Well, I'm not going to give up on Jacksonville just because I love a good underdog story. These Jaguars are... Yeah, I love watching them play, man. They're a damn good team. But, especially in the NFL, coaching is a huge deal.
Mm-hmm.
give a leg up always to New England.
Oh, I know about coaching because coaching killed the Steelers yesterday.
I can attest
And we'll
to
talk about that later.
Tom, we're going to start with you here. It's official that John Gruden is going to be coaching the Oakland Raiders. Now, you're an LA fan.
that. Yes, sir.
Phillip Rivers doesn't have much longer in the league.
Whoa!
Do you think John Gruden's going to play in a factor here? Do you think he could take the Raiders to the next level?
I believe he'll help them get back on track. As an LA Chargers fan, I'm not in favor of this move. Clearly, granted, Jack Del Rio wasn't a bad coach. He led them to the playoffs last year. This year, Carr had an off year.
12-4 last year.
Yeah, exactly. Jack Del Rio had a hell of a year last year.
Yeah.
Got fired this year after one bad season. John Gruden's known for being a quarterback guru. He has John Gruden's QB camp during the offseason, combine time, draft time. He'll help Derek Carr get back on track. Where's the real problem? It's on defense. They have one star on that. One name, to be honest, on that defense. Yeah, and it's Khalil Mack. The next best defensive player they have on that team is Bruce Irvin, who played for the Seahawks, if you guys remember, and he hasn't done jack.
No.
Jack Del Rio. He hasn't done Jack Del Rio since he's been in Oakland.
Navarro Bowman.
Yeah.
Who's like 50 years old.
Exactly. Literally, he's wearing his own number.
Yeah.
He's wearing his age on his back. Carl Joseph, that's my boy. That's my W boy. He's one of their better defensive players, but they're a bottom quarter defensive team in the league, that's not getting you in the playoffs. I know there was talk about the AFC West being the most competitive division this past season. That didn't come out into fruition. A bunch of inconsistencies from all teams.
Yes.
All four teams. They need to be more disciplined. I don't think Jack Del Rio deserved to get fired after 1 year.
I don't think he did either.
Going along with the fact, because that team was fighting injuries all season. Even Derek Carr was playing with a hurt back.
Yes.
Amari Cooper had a down year. You can attest to whatever.
Crabtree was in and out of injuries.
So was Marshawn Lynch, and a big part of their success last year was their offensive line. And they have a great offensive. I would say great when healthy.
Right.
But they weren't healthy, and now they give Jack Gruden a 10-year deal, $10 million a year for a coach that I believe he'll help, but how much better is he going to be than Jack Del Rio? We'll see. He hasn't been in the league in a decade. So there's that. And when you're giving your coach $100 million, you can go out and get some players for that kind of money, man.
Yes.
Every year, $10 million. Bro, that's Le'Veon Bell for you.
Yes.